Today is the start of my Kanto Pokemon journey. Like Ash, I will set out to collect and organize every Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm not the first person to do this. Many others have completed binders with all 1,000 Pokemon, but I want to do it for myself, and I want to do it a little slower than the others too. Starting with just Generation 1 Pokemon. From any set, any year, any rarity. I will find my favorite card of each Pokemon, and by the end of this journey, I will have a binder that is full of the best art for each of these 151 Pokemon. But in order to start, we need a binder first. And this is that binder. Now, I've already done some work inside of here to make this as easy as possible. Inside, placeholders. All of the Pokemon laid out so I know exactly what we need. Bit of an interesting thing I had to do to try to make this binder look pretty. In places like this where there's 3-stage evolutions, the 3x3 is perfect. But Gen 1 has a ton of 2-stage evolution lines. Pikachu and Raichu, Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, all that stuff. So, in order to make this look nice, some weird stuff had to be done. For example, Rattata and Raticate, Spearow, Fearow, and then Ekans and Arboks are vertical. Arboks? Arbok. And that had to be done quite a few times, which means there are some blank spots. Here, up there. Not too many. I tried to organize all of these so that it fills up the maximum amount of a page, but sometimes it got a little weird. So, I have an idea for spots like this, which I will tell you about when we actually get to it. How am I going to fill up all of these slots right now? Well, if we move this to the side, I have a bunch of bulk, and I'm almost certain we have quite a few. It's gonna do it again. I'm almost certain we have quite a few of the Gen 1 Pokemon already here. So, what I'm gonna do is sort through all of this bulk, pull out every Gen 1 Pokemon I find, and then we'll start loading them up into the binder.
Metapod.
Well, that is everything. After way longer than I hoped that would take, everything is sorted. Now it is time to put them in the binder, which means moving all of these off the table again. Alright. Page number 1, starters. Alright, our selection of Bulbasaurs. I want to pick out the nicest card for every slot. And unfortunately, I only have 3 Bulbasaurs. I've got this one from, is this from Chaos? This is from Chaos Rising. This one from, I don't know what set, but 1995. And then one from Detective Pikachu. And the answer seems pretty obvious to me. As cool as this card is, I mean, this one's from 1995, so it has to go in the binder. Slot number 1, placeholder comes out, and Bulbasaur goes in. And now, for some terrible news, guys. I don't have any Ivysaur or Venusaur cards. I don't know how this is possible, but I just don't have any. So, we're moving on straight to Charmander, and unfortunately, that means that our first page, it's not going to be full. It's going to look terrible, but that just means more cards to get in the future. Charmander, we have a few more options. Guys, if you hear something really weird in the background, that's the water heater. Just try to ignore it. I can't turn it off. Now, once again, we have a Detective Pikachu Charmander, and it's terrible, so we're not going to use it. This one is a very interesting art. He almost looks fake. His head is not usually this round. Alright, I forgot. This is what I'm going to use. Enough talking about the rest of these. They're all very cool. I forgot about this guy, which isn't from 95. It's supposed to look like it. It's from 2016, but it fits the same vibe as our Bulbasaur. And you'll see in a second why that's important. Hold on. Number 4 out. Charmander. Alright, here's where my job gets a little harder, because we do have a 95 Charmeleon that would match the rest of this page so far. It does look pretty cool. However, I really like this one from Chaos Rising. And as much as this would fit with the Charmander, I want this binder to be full of my favorite cards from each Pokemon. And so, I think I'm going to use this new Chaos Rising Charmeleon over the 95. Placeholder out. Welcome Charmeleon. And our next slot is a very easy one, because I have exactly one Charizard. And it's a Charizard card I don't like. It's kind of lame. It's the only one I have. So until we upgrade and get a better card for this binder, he's going to have to live there, because it's the only Charizard I have. Our selection of Squirtles, not terrible. Pretty much all of these are really nice. But I'm not even going to bother to look at the rest of these. This one I might use if I didn't have this 95 Squirtle. And with it, we have an entire row of old-looking cards. 2 from 95, 1 from 2016, but that is a sweet look, I think. Squirtle done, and our Wartortles, not the biggest selection. So, it makes my job a little easier, because I like this one the best. Zoop, right in there. And again, guys, I don't know how this keeps happening. Not only do I not have an Ivysaur or a Venusaur, I don't have any Blastoise cards whatsoever. So this is the first page, unfinished, and it's just the starters. I'm a little disappointed, so I'm going to keep on moving. Once again, my job, very easy, because we only have 1 Caterpie, 1 Butterfree, and 2 Metapods. This Metapod I hate, so it's pretty much in place, Metapod in place, and Butterfree. Right, we have 3 options for our Weedle. A 2016 designed like the 95 card, this one from Chaos Rising, and I don't know what set this guy's from, but it is a Hollow Energy. Very tough decision, because I kind of equally dislike all of them. Probably not this guy for sure, and you know, let's do 95. Well, the 2016 one that looks like the 95 card. Weedle is in place. Now for Kakuna, very easy. I only have 1. So, thankfully, at least it is, oh my goodness, at least it is a card I do like. So, I'm pretty happy about the Kakuna that we have.
Oh, that's hot.
For Beedrill, I have 2 options, technically 3. I have the one from Chaos Rising, the Ultra Rare Full Art. Very nice card. However, that guy's in our Chaos Master set, so I don't really want to take it apart. Which leaves us with these 2 options for Beedrill. This very cool one from 2016, fit with the Weedle. And this really weird one. This one's from 2013, and I don't know why, but he looks weird. His legs are all kind of goofy, and I don't know. So I think we're just going to go with this guy because he's the coolest one, and he fits exactly with our Weedle. Beedrill in place. There we go. Now we're starting to look nice. All right, page 1, too many holes, but just these 6 in a row all full. Whew, that's a sweet looking binder so far. Hopefully I have all of the Pidgey line. Get 1 full page, make it look really nice. Our Pidgey is easy peasy because we only have 1 somehow. Pidgeotto, we have 2 options. One that looks like it fits right in with this guy, and then this one that's cooler. So, easy enough choice. Pidgeotto in place. And we don't have a Pidgeot. So again, we have an incomplete page. No Pidgeot. Moving on to this page now. Here is where we start to have a bit of a dilemma. Rattata, easy. You know, just pick from these. However, I have a Team Rocket's Rattata, and I have many other Pokemon that are a specific trainer or gang's Pokemon. And I am not totally sure if I want to put the specific trainer Pokemon in this binder or not. There are certain ones like Team Rocket or Misty's Gyarados, things like that. Both the trainer and the Pokemon fit in Gen 1, so it wouldn't be out of place in the binder. But if I imagine opening up the binder and seeing something like Team Rocket's Rattata, is that what I want in my binder? I'm not sure. And it's not too big of a deal with this Rattata because I don't like the art too much. But if, like, my favorite art, say, is Misty's Magikarp or something, do I set a precedent to put in a specific trainer's Pokemon in the binder this early so when that happens I can use it, or do I not worry about it? I'm not sure. At least right now, I know I don't like Team Rocket's Rattata, so I'm not going to use it. There's an issue that we're going to come to later, but I'm not going to worry about quite yet. Alright, we got another 95 card, 2 other Rattatas. This one I don't dislike too much. However, it feels right in a binder like this to use older cards. So, 95 Rattata gets in the binder. So we have another issue with Raticate now. Very similar to a specific trainer's Pokemon like Team Rocket's Raticate, I also have a Dark Raticate. And while it is still Raticate, will seeing that extra word in front make the binder visually kind of poo? Things to think about. The problem is, I really like this Raticate art, so I kind of want to use the art, but I don't know if I want to put Dark Raticate in there, because I think it would look nicer if it just said Raticate. But I really like this art. Okay, this is a pretty nice Raticate. This is an okay Raticate, but I love this art for Raticate. And this one's also from 1995, so it'll fit the Rattata. I'm not sure if later on in this binder I'm going to want to redo it and not have stuff like this in there. But at least for now, and probably staying there, we're going to use Dark Raticate in this slot. I don't know if you can see here. There's an R next to it. I'm wondering if the Dark Pokemon, what they used instead of putting Team Rocket's Raticate. Like if Team Rocket's Raticate was printed in 1995, would this card say Dark Raticate, or is it different? I don't know. Something I should probably know when making Pokemon videos. Alright, on to the snakes. And this is where we get to the weird binder layout. But trust me guys, it kind of works. I'll show you. Alright, our job is easy and difficult at the same time. I only have the one Ekans card, and he is a Energy Hollow, which is really nice. So, our Ekans slot is easy peasy. And it helps that I kind of like the art too. So, Ekans is done. I also only have one Arbok card. The reason that makes this hard is that this is a Team Rocket's Arbok. And again, I am undecided if I want to put specific trainer cards in here. However, seeing as this is the only Arbok I own, I'm going to put it in here as more of a temporary card, assuming that I am going to find a better one for the future videos. And when I do, I'll probably replace this one. But here he is for now. Now for Spearow, I only have 2 cards, and I think this one's cooler. So, there we go. Spearow done. And Fearow is similarly easy because I only have the one. And it's pretty dang cool. So, Spearow done. And now, if we take a look at the weird binder layout, as you can see, we have number 19, 20, 21, 22, we jump up to 23, 24, but now 25 is right next to number 24 in the Pokedex. So while it kind of looks a little weird like this, it also kind of works out still. And it's the only way that I could get 2-stage evolutions on to fill up as much of the page as possible without having like a bunch of holes everywhere. Pikachu, as you can imagine, we have quite a few of, which makes our job slightly harder because there's a lot more art to sift through. I know for sure the Detective Pikachu ones are not going in the binder. They just don't fit. So, that's that done. Another thing, I don't want EXs in the binder. I just don't think visually it's going to look as nice in the binder to have a whole bunch of these regular formatted cards and then an EX. This one's also gone, which leaves us with still quite a few Pikachus to look through. And taking a brief glance, I know exactly which one I want to use. And it's this cutie pie up here. He is the 25th anniversary stamped Pikachu. But that is cool. I don't know if the camera can see the hollow texture, but it's a very unique hollow pattern. A very cute Pikachu, and he's going in the binder. Done. Raichu, thankfully, is a little bit of an easier job as we only have 4 arts. And I'm not going to waste much more time. That one's pretty cool, but I think this guy is the coolest. Number 26, Raichu, done, and 2 more pages, not full. However, this is going to be an interesting case. There are a few spots in the binder just like this. Blank spots where I can't put a Pokemon. See, I could have put number 27, Sandshrew, in this spot, but then Sandslash would be all on his own. And I thought it would look nicer if all the evolutionary lines you could see on one page without having to flip to find an evolution. So, there are a few blank spots in the binder. I could just leave it blank. I could put an energy card or a sleeve in there, but I had a different idea that may or may not work out. Idea number 1, which I might use later, would be to use a trainer-specific Pokemon card if we didn't put one in the binder as a blank slot. Say if I had a Raichu and then I had like Lieutenant Surge's Raichu. That could work there, but in this specific spot, I don't have any Pokemon like that. But I do have a Lieutenant Surge trainer card, which I think fits with the Gen 1, would fill up this slot, and look rather nice. He's related to Raichu, Gen 1, it all works out. So, I have a few other trainer cards that I picked out that I think would fit in this Gen 1 binder, and we'll be using those periodically. So, we now have, finally, after 3 pages, a full page. And I think it looks pretty dang nice. So let's try to fill up another page. And look, you can already tell we got another blank spot, but I'll save that for the end of the page. Number 27, and our first card on this page, Sandshrew. And I have a bit of a dilemma. Dilemma 1. This is a 2016 old school looking card, would fit the binder very nicely. However, this card has been damaged to butts. I don't know what happened to it, but it's not in good shape. That doesn't mean it can't go in the binder, but it does mean that it might make it all bulging and weird. And my other conundrum with that is that this would fit very well with the binder, the old lore art, but I really like this Sandshrew. So I have to think, this one's not terrible. He's pretty cute, but not as cool to me as either the 2016 or this guy. Alright, I don't know if I did the Jirachi transition, but a decision has been made. We're gonna use this guy. So number 27, Sandshrew. In place. For Sandslash, we have exactly 2 choices. This one, which is nothing special to me, and an E-Series. And as much as I don't really love the art, it is an E-Series card. So I feel like I have to put it in the binder. Because how often do you see E-Series cards anymore? He's got a little damage. But he's going in this binder. Sandshrew and Sandslash in place. Next up, we have quite a lot. And our kind of a lot isn't that much. We have 1 Nidoran female. And it's a Team Rocket's Nidoran female, which is the same problem I had with whatever card it was a second ago. Arbok. It's a Team Rocket's Arbok, which means I'm probably going to have to be on the hunt for another Nidoran female. Seeing as this is the only one I have, it is going to be the one that goes in. Hold on. I take it back. Looky what was hiding. We have 1 other Nidoran female, and it is much nicer. Nidoran female in place. Next up, we need Nidorina, and I've got a few options. Team Rocket's Nidorina, terrible. Already out of the running. So next is not my favorite 2 cards. I'm not going to lie. It's the only 2 we have, and I'm feeling like this one would look better next to the Nidoran. Definitely. So I kind of don't like either of those arts, but this is the nicer one that I have. So number 30, Nidorina, in place, and last is Nidoqueen, of which I have 1. And it's a Team Rockets! I can't escape the trainer-specific Pokemon. I have 1 Nidoqueen. So, there we go. That just looks hideous. It's not the same type. It's a trainer-specific one. And I don't like the art very much. It is a triple whammy of me not wanting to put it in the binder. But it is the only Nidoqueen we have right now. So, it'll be a placeholder. I will find a better Nidoqueen later and replace Team Rocket's Nidoqueen. At least we have slightly better options for Nidoran male. We have the 2016 old style one. And then this one looking at what looks like the destruction of a city. Oops, I bumped the camera. To be honest, I'm going to look at this page. Now that I'm putting all this stuff together, I'm starting to think about exactly what I want the binder to look like. And on this page specifically, I think that the non-old looking one might fit the page better, if that makes sense. I do like this card, but I think I'm going to use this one. Plus, this is Nidoran male, and, you know, dudes look at explosions, and that looks like an explosion to me. It's either an explosion or the sunset, but it looks fiery, and dudes like fire. So, Dude Nidoran in place. You already know we're not using Team Rocket's Nidorina, which leaves us with 2, again, kind of not great options. It's the same problem I had with the Nidorina. I don't really like either art, but I think I like this one more. So, Nidorino done, and now we have a problem. As always, because this binder is full of problems, I have 1 Nidoking, but it is an EX. If I put the Nidoking EX in here, because it's the only one I have, just to fill out the slot, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. So even though I technically have a Nidoking, I'm not going to put him in the binder, which means we have a non-full page again. But we can kind of fix it a little bit. We do have this blank spot here. That is going to be good for one of these trainer cards. Probably want to save the Giovanni and the Bomb for if we're closer to a Team Rocket Pokemon. Not like Team Rocket's Nidoqueen, but like, you know, a Meowth or a Persian or something like that. That would fit much better if it was next to one of those types of Pokemon, which means we have 2 options. Brock's Grit or Potion. I'm just going to use the Potion as a generic Pokemon item. Now we only have 1 spot in this page missing, maybe 2 if you count the placeholder card. We're moving through. We are almost halfway through being halfway through with the Gen 1 Pokemon, also known as a quarter. Clefairy, number 35 next. We have 4 arts, and my job is hard because I like all of these quite a bit. That one might be the most generic looking. Same with this Clefairy. So I'll rule these ones out, and we're up to a very adorable Clefairy and a very sketchbook looking Clefairy. And I think that this one might fit the binder better. It also helps that it is an energy hollow. I always like a good energy hollow. Out comes the placeholder, and replaced with our glorious Pokemon. Clefable is going to be kind of an easy one, because I only have 2, and this is the only one that I really like. Plus, I think it's going to fit with the Clefairy there. Not too hard. Placeholder gone. And Clefable goes in. We have 5 different Jigglypuff arts. And again, no Detective Pikachu. It's not going to look good in the binder. So really, we have 4 Jigglypuff arts. And once again, I like all of these. In order to weed these down, I'm going to have to nitpick. Immediately, I think this one is my favorite. However, this is a Gen 1 binder, and there are 2 Gen 5 Pokemon in the back. So as much as I like this art, canonically, it's not going to fit. Now, to get down these 3, I'm not sure what to do. I think that this is my favorite Jigglypuff out of these 3. However, the Wigglytuff that we have is a fairy type, and it would look much nicer to have 2 fairy types next to each other than a psychic, then a fairy type. So do I want the typing to match to look nice, or use my favorite artwork? To help with this decision, I'm going to eliminate one of the fairy types. I have spoken to the girlfriend, and she doesn't like this one. So it is eliminated. Which then brings us to the issue. My favorite art or matching typing? Matching typing would look nice, but not only is this my favorite art, but they're both making the same face. That might look the best. All right. I personally think that it probably would look a little better if they were matching typing. However, this is my favorite Jigglypuff art, and they're making the exact same face, which is funny. So I'm a little glad, but also not super certain, but at least we now have our Jigglypuff in place and our Wigglytuff in place. You know what? That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Although, if we did this, we could have completed our Fairy Tetris. Alright, Vulpix. We only have 3 options. This is from Chaos Rising, and it's kind of the one that I like the most. These ones are very more like colored pencil drawings, which look pretty cool. And this one is a type energy. Sorry, an energy hollow. But I'm just going to go with this one because I know I like it. So Vulpix in place. For our Ninetales, it's easy. We only have 2. And this one from Chaos Rising, I like more than this one. This one's not terrible, but I mean, this one, he's in action. He's ready to find Naruto. That was a terrible joke. I shouldn't have made it. Next are little baddie boys. Got a few Zubats to sift through. Not Team Rocket Zubat, out of the running. So we've got a Chaos Rising Zubat, this Energy Hollow Zubat, which is really nice, and this one from 1995. I want to use the one from 1995. I mean, I don't understand why he's a grass type, and this one is really cool, but look at how big his head is. He's so weird in this picture. So, he'll make a great addition to the binder. And a very weird assortment of colors on this page. I don't know what's going on. Golbat is going to be pretty easy because I'm not using... Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, I was going to say I'm not using Team Rocket's Golbat, but that is a really cool Golbat. That is a awesome looking Golbat card. But it's a Team Rocket's Golbat. I like it more than either of the other 2. So, do I use Team Rocket's Golbat in the Golbat slot? Or do I just use this guy because I like him more than this guy? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm going to use this one for now. If I decide that I really like the Team Rocket's Golbat, I'll swap him out. But I do think that this Golbat card will fit next to that one a little bit nicer than the Team Rocket's Golbat. Actually, that looks pretty cool. Screw it. Okay. There we go. All right, and in our empty spot, right in this corner, since we have Team Rocket's Golbat, I think it only makes sense that we use some of our Team Rocket filler cards. Either the Bomb or one of these Giovannis. So, just now it's what looks the best. Got that Giovanni, or a Bomb. Whoa. Honestly, yeah, I think this one, it's darker, kind of like this one is. I think that looks okay. And now we have 2 full pages. We're getting closer to finishing. New page, number 43. We only have 2 Oddishes. This Oddish, that I believe was a promo in a blister of some kind. And then this Oddish. And I kind of like both of them equally, not very much. Which, in other words, I don't like either of them very much. That would have been a less weird way to say it. So do I want the Holo promo Oddish or this Oddish? Something tells me this Oddish might look better in the binder. Oddish in place. Next we got Gloom. We've got a few options, including a Pokeball Holo. I don't like this one too much, and I like this one a lot. So, pretty easy. Plus, this one's an Erica's Gloom anyway, and I'm still undecided if I want to put a lot of trainer-specific cards in here. We made an exception for the Golbat. I'm assuming that's going to be the only exception I'll make. We'll see. I only have 1 Vileplume, and I don't like it very much, but it's the only one I have. We have 2 Parises for number 46. Both I kind of like, but this one is amazing. It is an Energy Holo, and this type of Energy Holo pattern is my favorite. There's a few different Energy Holo patterns, and this one is the coolest looking. Not to mention, that art is awesome. So very easy decision for me. We don't have a Parasect, so that's another guy we're going to need to get later. Onto Diglett. Onto Diglett. We've got a Diglett, not a Team Rocket Diglett, even though I'm pretty sure there's Giovanni chilling in the background. So it's a little weird that it's not a Team Rocket Diglett. But we got 2 Diglets, and this one looks so weird. It's from 2016, so it kind of fits some of the other 2016, the old style card. But he looks so weird. It's like a Windows, 3D, I don't know. It's weird. So we're going to use this Diglett, even though I don't like it too much. But at least... This guy is so weird. Is he weird enough to... you know what? He might be so weird that every time I open this binder, it's going to make me laugh. So let's do it. We'll do the weird 90s 3D Windows. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm hoping you're understanding the vibe I'm describing here. All right, we only have 1 Dugtrio. And it's a Team Rocket's Dugtrio. So I'm going to put him in, but I don't think I'm keeping him in. But we do have a Dugtrio technically, so there we go. Next up, Venonat. And we have 2 Venonats. Both I really like, but this one I like even more. It's pretty easy for me. Venonat in place. And we only have 1 Venomoth. So, I'm saying so a lot in this video. So there's a Venomoth. Almost a full page, minus the lucky middle slot. We've got, surprisingly, only 3 Meowths to choose from. One of them's a Team Rocket's Meowth. However, is Team Rocket's Meowth not the titular Meowth? I mean, this one's very cool. This guy's a little cutie pie. Okay, I have an idea, but I'm not going to let you in on it until later. I really like this Meowth, but I have a feeling that if I don't use this Meowth, my girlfriend might kill me. This Meowth is going in the binder, and I have an idea for this one. Snuggly Meowth with the... That's the substitution. Is that the little guy that pops up when you use the move substitution? Or am I crazy? Our Persians. This one's cool. This one looks weird. So I guess my question now is, since I kind of dislike both of these equally, is which looks better next to our Meowth? There we go. Persian in place. Now we're getting into some pretty good stuff, because we have quite a few Psyducks, and I like them all. Even the Detective Pikachu Psyduck. He's not going in the binder, because it doesn't fit, but that is a really silly looking card. I like the card not going in the binder, which leads us with all cool Psyducks. This one, he's being a little silly guy, and I like him being a silly guy. This one is kind of the most normal, so I'm going to eliminate him. This one is trying to relax, stave off his migraine. This one looks so cute in. Oh my goodness, this is too much. This is too much pressure. Now this art would look very nice right under the Meowth. It's a style that isn't on too many cards, so it's unique in that sense. I really like this one. Do I like him enough to put in the binder? I've done some eliminating. And I am torn between this guy and this guy. Alright. Sorry. Decision made. This one. Probably one of the tougher decisions I had so far. Hopefully is the hardest decision. Golduck is next. We have 3 pretty good options. I like all of these. I like this one the least. So we're between Swimming Golduck or Ready to Cut You Golduck. So what looks best next to our Psyduck? Is very hard. This one with the flowers, it looks a lot closer to the field that this Psyduck is in. However, because of the silver border, the yellow is a bit more cohesive. I think I'm going to go with the yellow border Golduck. I think it's going to look the nicest in this binder. And he fits fair enough with the Psyduck. All right, now on to Mankey. We've got 4. Wow, I can count. 4 different Mankeys. I don't like this one too much, so he's out. But the rest, I do really like. With this one, I might have to look at the Primeapes in order to decide what Mankey goes there. So, we have 3 different Primeapes to choose from. This one is awesome just because it's a 95. And there are quite a few 95 Pokemon in this binder. And it would look really nice. This one is beautiful art. The lighting is so peaceful. He's in a jungle. It's a energy hollow too, my favorite energy hollow pattern. It's such a nice Primeape. And when I was starting to think about doing this binder, I had this card in mind for Primeape. But I didn't know that I had this Primeape. And this is a 95 really cool old school Primeape. So the question is, which one? Because I think they'd both look amazing in the binder. All right, I'm going to try something weird, but I'm going to do that after the Mankeys because we still haven't picked those. But I have an idea, a potential idea that I can use both the Primeapes, because I can't decide. But with Mankey first, I think it makes the most sense. I'm torn between these 2 for the Mankey. This is another energy hollow. Really like the energy hollows. And he's mean and angry, just like a Mankey. This one is more... I think I'm going to go with this Mankey. Alright, Mankey in place. Fairly happy with that decision. And now for the weird Primeape. First, let's see which looks best under it. Okay, well, we obviously know this one's going to look best right under it. Oh, that looks nice. Then again, a 95 Primeape. I want this in the binder. My idea, since we have a blank spot here, is to do our only, probably, double Pokemon and just have this line be Primeapes. But I'm not sure if it would look the best in the binder to just have one random duplicate, even if they're 2 really cool cards. But now I'm torn, because I love this 95 Primeape, and putting him in a Gen 1 binder would fit. However, this Primeape next to the Mankey looks better together, but I have enough of him that if I don't put this Primeape in the binder, I can make a deck with him and I can still look at this card and enjoy it. I'm probably not going to put a 95 Primeape in a deck ever, so the best place to display that I have this Primeape would be in this binder. But again, this looks better. So I am going to go with this Primeape, but just know I am gutted. I don't know what to do with that Primeape card. We need to think of something special to do with it, because that card is a work of art. So reluctantly, we have our Primeape in place. I don't know why I'm saying super reluctantly, because this is the Primeape that I wanted in the binder originally, but I don't know. It's a 95. It's a 95 Primeape. All right, I'm going to stop talking about it. Let's move on to our Growlithe. 3 options. And this one I hate. Even though it's an energy hollow, I don't like it. Which leaves us with a 2016 old school style Growlithe or this little furry guy. I mean, they're both furry guys. Go with the old school. I don't love either of the Growliths, so interesting looking at least. Arcanine, we only have 2, and it's pretty easy because I'm not putting any Detective Pikachu cards in the binder. Arcanine, in place. This is a very weird looking page. And for our empty slot, I'm going to contradict what I just said about the Primeapes. I'm going to put Team Rocket's Meowth here. I feel like Team Rocket's Meowth is its own completely different character. It is the only Pokemon that can talk. It is a iconic one. Everybody knows Meowth because of Team Rocket's Meowth. So we have our regular Meowth to fill up this slot, and I think that Team Rocket's Meowth is a character all on its own that it wouldn't be a duplicate Pokemon, if that makes sense. So I'm putting Team Rocket's Meowth in our blank spot. I think it makes sense. Next page. Poliwag. I have 2 Poliwags. Both are pretty okay. This is kind of a generic looking Poliwag, but gets the job done. And this one is, again, more of that colored pencil artsy type of art. And I don't love either of them. But I think maybe this one fits the binder vibe better, especially the yellow border. And we don't have any Poliwhirls or Poliwraths. Very surprising and very disappointed. Next up is Abra. We have 2 options, and both I really like. This Abra is very meditative. You know, he's thinking about his life choices. And I really respect that. He looks peaceful. And this is just really cool art. So, which Abra fits in the binder? I like this one. I really do. Sometimes you just gotta think about it for half a second longer. Abra in place. And I only have 1 Kadabra. This is not very surprising considering, I don't know for how long, but quite a while there was like a trademark copyright dispute over the name Kadabra. Some like Japanese magician or something. I'm not sure exactly. I've forgotten, but not a lot of Kadabra cards were made for a very long time. And by not a lot, I mean none. So this one is new. Came out last year, and it's the only Kadabra I have. If I can get my hands on one of the original Kadabra cards, then I'll definitely put him in the binder instead. But for now, we have 1 Kadabra and no Alakazams. So that spot, empty until we get an Alakazam. And you know what else is going to stay empty? Machop. Because I have no Machops. Only Machoke and a single Machamp. So out of the Machokes, I have nightmares about this card. Growing up, I feel like I got 500 of these Machoke cards. And every time, I thought that it was damaged. The texture of the water looks like ripped cardboard. So I had a ton of these cards, and every single one I thought was damaged. And I would look at it for like an hour, finally realized that it wasn't tears in the cardboard and that it was supposed to be water. So I think this is a hideous looking card and I hate it. That being said, because of all that, it's kind of nostalgic for me. This Runaway card is a lot nicer, and I kind of want to use it for the binder. It's also an energy hollow. Both are energy hollows. Hold on a minute. Both are energy hollows. That makes this a little harder. Part of me wants to use this card because it's nicer. It's a nice looking art. I really like it. But also, this is nostalgia. And as much as I hate looking at this card, and I want to punch it in the face, nostalgia might win out now just because of how often I looked at this card growing up. Do I like the card? Absolutely not. I hate it. But it's going in the binder. purely because I had it when I was a kid. That does not feel good. And our one Machamp card, it looks pretty good, so I'm not too unhappy. It's also an energy holo, so pretty good. Machoke is in. Machamp is in. No Machop. I cannot believe we don't have a Machop. Moving on to the next page. That one looks terrible with all the holes. This one is also going to look not great, I'd imagine. We have one Bellsprout, so that makes this slot easy. Number 69 in place. We have 2 Weepinbells. We have 3 Weepinbells. I'm going to have to disqualify this one because it's Erica's Weepinbell. Not only is it a trainer-specific Weepinbell, it's also not a Gen 1 trainer's Weepinbell. Which leaves us with these 2. This one definitely fits the vibe of the binder more, I think, whereas this one is a lot more interesting to look at. All right, I'm going to see which one looks better next to All right, that makes it easy. I think he looks nicer next to the Bellsprout. So we'll go with the kind of cooler one. Weepinbell in place. And guess what, guys? No Victory Bell. We're missing so many Pokemon. Guys, this page is going to look abysmal because I have exactly 1 Tentacool and exactly 1 Geodude and not a single Tentacruel, Graveler, or Golem. I have an Alolan Golem, but I'm not going to use regional variants in the binder that isn't that region. So many holes. We can fill 1 at least, because this empty spot is going to be perfect for our Brock. Brock, Geodude, makes sense. This is a terrible looking page, but we continue on.